Hey, so welcome to Walk the Track, another episode with Ad, Jesus, and again, hey, here he is. Boaz is joining us. So we walk the track and we welcome you to come join us. Do you want to come for a walk? Let's go. So, like I said, it's going to be about 20 minutes. We're just going to walk up and down our track. It's about half a mile each way. So if you'd like to go for a walk and listen to the audio or watch us, or get on a treadmill or a bike or sit down and have a coffee, then you are most welcome. I got a new carrier on today because little Boaz outgrew the last one and Kez told me it wasn't safe. So to avoid a potential disaster on camera, we thought we'd get a new one. So this is my first tryout with a new carrier. Yeah, on this. I don't know if you can hear the birds. Boaz is talking to them. Come on, Boaz, talking to the birds. Oh, it's lovely to have you. As we do these walks, I don't know when this is going to go out, but this is the second one we've done, and I just love the idea of doing these. You know, it's not always easy to get in your exercise or your movement in between your organised sessions. It might not be easy for you to get in your exercise at all. So if this can help, then please let me know, and I'll do more of them. I think I'm going to do them anyway, to be honest, because it's just so much fun. And walking with people, it's a bit like eating with people. Food isn't the same without people, and exercises or moving your body is quite nice with people as well. So the 20 minutes that we do here seems to be a bit quicker sometimes. So let's go for a walk. There's going to be a bit of our track which is uphill, so you're welcome to go a bit faster with us if you like then. Generally, what I found to be helpful is most of the time when I move, I tend to get to a point where my mother calls it, the technical term, breathy, where you feel like your heart rate and your breathing level is up more than it would be than if you're sitting down. So you know you're doing more than you would be than if you're sitting down, but not so much that you couldn't keep a conversation. So that's just a basic guide. And then every now and again, push yourself, see what you can do. I use squash for that, where I play a tough match, and really push myself. The straps are a bit tight on this one. I'm trying to take a few deep breaths in. I might have to change the settings. Anyway, lovely. We got a little river at the base of our track here, which when I was in my teen years, I was very influenced by my peers and thought, success looked a certain way. So I thought I'd be down Cardiff Bay with a chrome filled kitchen and a Aston Martin in the garage, and now all I want to do is get out, walk in the countryside and listen to the sound of water. How things change. Anyway, right, I'm going uphill now, so if you'd like to join me going a little bit faster. What do you think, Boaz? You ready? Let's go. Right, I'm going to go a little bit faster for about, I reckon, 3 or 4 minutes, so you're welcome to join us. It's Easter week here, Holy Week. It's called also as well. I've never really been. I'm still learning about all the different things in the Christian calendar, in the Judeo-Christian calendar, all the different events which have been pretty much fixed in the calendar, isn't it? But one thing I wanted to share today, I just, a part of the motivation for these walks is it just gives me a chance just to talk to you about Jesus. It really is, when you get to know the beautiful one, and you see the ugliness in the world, his beauty becomes even more attractive, and it really is. There's nothing that compares. It really is. And something that just really got to me this week, I shared it with our youth in the church on Sunday, because it just came up in me really, and I was thinking, after the resurrection, which obviously happens this weekend, I was thinking, Jesus lived a perfect life, yet he was treated the worst out of anyone in the history of the world. Isn't that amazing? You know, how can I deserve righteousness when I've acted so sinfully in my life? And you think about Jesus, how can he deserve such horrors when he acted so beautifully? Oh, we're gonna go off track here, gang, off piste. We're gonna go on to the hayfield. The sheep aren't in, the gate's open, and that's just an invitation. What do you think, Boaz? Yep, let's go. So we're gonna go for a quick walk around the hayfield, which will be fun. So thinking about Jesus, and just he is perfect truth, perfect love, and we killed him. It's just amazing. So I thought, well, when he rose from the dead, I was thinking, if I was treated that way and I did nothing wrong, I mean, how do you feel when you are treated wrong and you've done nothing wrong? How do you feel against that person? You know, that boss, or that friend, or that church leader, or whoever. You feel you've done nothing wrong, yet they have really, had a go at you. How do you feel? Well, I was thinking, when Jesus rose from the dead, he had just been crucified for loving people, for loving the ones he created. He came unto his own, and his own rejected him. What would you do? What would be the first thing you do upon your resurrection? What would it be? Oh, I had a bit of fun thinking about this. Right, keep going uphill, gang. Sorry, I've left. You go a bit faster. I'm keeping uphill. I got about 30 seconds left of this hill on the field. What would you do? Would you? I'd probably go to the bedroom of my accusers in the middle of the night and go, nah. Or even worse. You can imagine all the things we'd be tempted to do to get our own back, to prove that we were unjustly treated. What would you do? Do you know what our beautiful Jesus did? The first thing he did, it wasn't to go to the high priest. It wasn't even to go to the Roman soldiers. It wasn't to go, he couldn't go to Judas. The people, his friends who betrayed him, the ones who used their words to say, I will do anything for you. Yet at the key moment deserted him. He went on a journey to a place called Emmaus. I'm sure you know the story, where he met two disciples. And what struck me was the mirror image of this story with another two people he walked with back in Genesis. And when he created us, Adam and Eve, in the garden, he created this garden full for us, didn't he? He's created this world for us to richly enjoy and go on adventures with him. Okay, now I'm walking on a flat now, and it's going to be a little bit downhill actually for a couple of minutes. yeah, for a few minutes. So if you want to slow down now, you're welcome. And it gives me a bit of peace, to be honest, going back to original design, you know, when the world gets a bit crazy. The reason we're here is he's created this wonderful garden for us to live in, enjoy, and from a place of knowing we're loved, accepted and valued, is go on adventures and discover more about who he is and who we are already, with nothing to prove. And I found it interesting that in the garden he placed two key trees, didn't he? The tree of life and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. But he was very clear about what would happen if we ate the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. What does it say? In that, if you eat of it, in that day you shall surely die. The Hebrew actually says, dying you shall die. So as soon as you eat it, you'll die spiritually, or some aspect of you will die. Some of you scholars will know more about that than me, but that says to me, you know, there's a separation there from the source of life. And Adam and Eve were still alive, weren't they? They were still breathing, but things got worse as they got older. Dying, they shall die, which is a picture of aging for us, really, isn't it? And what was interesting is, as soon as they ate from that tree, they rejected God as the source of life. They said, no, I can't trust you. I think you're holding something back. I want to trust myself. So they ate from that tree. And if you look at it, the words are fascinating. It says, as soon as they ate from the tree, their eyes were opened. But have a look at it. What were their eyes open to? It says their eyes were open to their nakedness, which is a picture, of course, of shame. So their eyes were opened to the fact that without the Lord, without us being connected to him, without us allowing him to be our source, we are very aware of our lack, of our shame, of our guilt, of our fear. Suddenly stress comes in. How am I going to make up for this lack that I now have and feel? It's all up to me. It'll never be good enough. And it just makes sense to me. It just makes sense why I feel those things. And it just helps me realise is I haven't allowed God in that area of my life where I'm feeling stress, guilt, shame. But the road to Emmaus story is so beautiful because if you notice, Jesus hides himself from them and expounds in the scriptures everything pertaining to himself. So it shows us that we can see him now face to face in the scriptures. It's available to all of us. It's beautiful, isn't it? We can interact with him. We can be intimate with him, encounter him in the scriptures every day. But then, look at this. When they got to their house, what did they do? They invited Jesus in for a meal, wise choice. And Jesus broke bread. And as soon as they ate, so much to eating, thank God. As soon as they ate, what does it say? Their eyes were opened. Exactly the same as it says in Genesis. But this time, what were their eyes opened to? It's in Luke 24, I think. Their eyes were opened, this is so beautiful, so that they knew him. Oh, isn't that beautiful, boy? Isn't that beautiful? And that word know is so intimate. What's he done here? He's showing us that in the garden, we had a choice. Love always gives a choice. If love doesn't give a choice, then it's not love. It's, I don't know, it's a dictatorship, I suppose, isn't it? It's control, it's fear, it's all these things. Fear of punishment, horrible stuff. So God as love, in the person of Jesus, always gives us a choice. You can feast off the tree of life, which we know later on is Jesus. He says, I am the way, the truth and the life. Or we can reject life and feast off the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. So if we reject life, what by default are we choosing? This was such a almost like a harsh reality, the Lord shows you. He shows you these harsh realities whilst giving you a bear hug and saying, it's okay, Adam, it's okay. Oh, his rebukes are so lush. So in the garden, we rejected life, so therefore we chose death. There had to be a death. Why did there have to be a death? Because he respects you so much. He respects your choices. Right, I'm going uphill now. We've got about 5 minutes left. He respects your choices. He's not controlling. So when we rejected life, we chose death. And that's why death shows up in our lives when Christ isn't at the centre. And there had to be a death. And Jesus knew this. There had to be a death. So that's where this week comes into beautiful pictures, isn't it? He said, okay, if there has to be a death, am I going to let my beloved son and daughter die over my dead body? He came. That's why he came. So he died the death that we should die. And now upon his resurrection, he comes to us, and it's almost like he's put us back in the garden. And now with an increased revelation, offered us the choice again. Guys, look how much I love you. I wonder if we know a bit more than Adam and Eve. I don't know. We're a bit more aware of his nature, of his love for us, because we know he's gone to the cross for us. It's like he's put you, wherever you're listening to this, he's removed every mistake you've ever made. He's removed every thought, every failure, this is getting hard. Boaz, you putting on weight? All that porridge. He's taken it away and put us back to square one and said, given us the option. Do you want to feed off me, the tree of life, and have me come and live inside you? And what was the picture of that? He broke bread. Oh, it's just lovely. And what's that? It's communion. So every time, 2 minutes, I'm going past where I normally stop, but because I want to show you something up here. So every time we take communion, it's like afresh. We break the bread and we say, I'm feeding off the tree of life. And it's like his life gets infused in us. And somehow his resurrection life comes through us. And we say, Lord, I've messed up so many times, but your blood says I'm righteous. Your body says I am healed. In my finances, you will be my wisdom. I don't earn money now to pay my bills. I earn money to give away. You will provide for me. I don't look after my health now for my sake. You will give me health. And now I'm invited into exercising and walking, and you will give me health so I can give it away and bless others with it. I can walk, I can lift furniture for people. I can dance and sing, but a lot of you guys are much better at that than me. When some of you guys, I know some of you who are listening to this, you sing and you dance, and I meet Christ through your singing. I meet Christ through the way you do business. I meet Christ through the way you dance. It's beautiful. And now look at this. I hope we can get that. Andy Nichols has decided to plant a cherry tree orchard. So these will grow up to be, you know, quite big, and you can walk through a tunnel of cherry trees. Isn't that lovely? What an idea. What a thought for the future. Oh, so bless you guys. Bless you. May you know. Oh, there we are, top of the hill. And he's about to go to sleep. May you know the one who offers you his resurrection life anytime you want to receive it. Bless you guys. Love you loads.